Let's move on to symmetry. Symmetry is exactly what you expect it to be. It says that if there is an arrow from x to y, there must be an arrow from y to z as well. Okay, so 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 this thing, if there is an arrow from E to A, you should have an arrow from A to E as well. So if you have this, actually it's written right here, then it implies that y or x is there. All right, that's actually both ways. Make sense?
So, but all of the properties that you have taught us, the diagrams that were made, they were uh, of A to A relationship, right?
Yes. Yes. So symmetrically, you don't need it to be A to A. Okay. So actually, you do. Yeah. Yeah. It's perfectly fine. Yeah. So it's again A to A. Okay. So you have the same set elements. If you have an arrow here, you must have an arrow there. Yeah. This is on A. Let me make sure कि ये यहाँ पे भी है. Transitivity के लिए भी you need it to be the same set. All these properties are true for a relation on the same set.
सर
क्या?
सॉरी सर, मेरी नेट का मुझसे इशू आ गया था. जो रिफ्लेक्सिव होगा वो सिमेट्रिक भी होगा?
जरूरी नहीं है.
सर जरूरी मतलब ये तो सेम नहीं हो जाएगा?
So for example here, let me make you a reflexive relation which is not transitive. Okay, so let's see. This is a
ट्रांजिटिव नहीं है?
relation. Sorry, it's not symmetric. Okay, have a look. This is not symmetric, but it's reflexive. Yeah.
ठीक हो गया सर, थैंक यू.
हाँ, these are exclusive. Okay, ये जो तीनों properties in there are exclusive. Okay, you can have one but not the other. Okay, for symmetric we have also anti-symmetric, which says that this should not be true. If you have an x to y thing, तो फिर y to x should not be there. Okay, इसी को लिखने का मैंने आपको एक और तरीका भी बताया था. If you remember, it says that if you have a relation from x to y and you have a relation from y to x, this should imply that x and y are actually the same element. Okay? Does this statement make sense? This और ये वाली बात सेम है. यहाँ पे हम ये कह रहे हैं कि अगर x और y distinct हैं, they are not equal, तो फिर you can have x to y or you can have y to x, but you can't have both of them. All right?
Sir,
So-
x equal to y समझ नहीं है कि how does it imply that they're equal?
So हम anti-symmetry में reflexivity को allow करते हैं. Okay, so you can have a arrow from a node to itself. Okay, so A or A is allowed. Okay, अब इसको भी देखें तो it might, in some sense, this is symmetric. Okay, right? यहाँ पे A और A को आप replace कर दें तो it's the same thing. But the thing is that's the only case when this is allowed. Okay, if you can find two elements x and y such that x y is a relation and y x is a relation, this must imply that x and y are equal.
I think it will be easier to understand if you put an element and put two loops on them. It will be like it will.
So let me try to. So देखो, पहले मैं ये कह रहा हूँ, जो मेरी P statement, it says that if x and y are not equal, then this implies that x are y and y are x is not true. Okay? This is what it's saying. अगर x और y different हैं, तो फिर ये दोनों चीजें इकट्ठे true नहीं हो सकती. Okay? इसका मुझे contrapositive बताएं. What's the contrapositive of this statement? The contrapositive of this statement is let me label it. Okay, let's say that this is A, this is B. Okay, the contrapositive would be not B, not A, right? What is not B? Not B is X R and Y R X. Okay, not of not के साथ आपका खत्म हो जाएगा. Okay, this is not B. This should imply not A. What's not A? Not A is x is equal to y. Okay, तो इसलिए ये दोनों statements equivalent है. Does it help or not?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay. All right.
सर
Yeah.
सर जो सिमेट्री वाला जो सिमेट्रिक रिलेशन था उसके अंदर इसका मतलब लूप्स अलाउड नहीं है.
Loops allowed है. Loops allowed है.
रिफ्लेक्सिव आपने भी कहा था कि एंटी सिमेट्री में रिफ्लेक्सिविटी अलाउड नहीं है, तो सिमेट्रिक में अलाउड है या
नहीं symmetric में allowed है. Symmetric में allowed है. They're not necessary, but they are allowed. Yeah.
तो अगर आप यहाँ पर B से A पे भी ये जो आपने सामने डायग्राम बनाई है खुद,
Yeah.
तो अगर हम यहाँ पर B to A भी एक एरो बना दें तो ये सिमेट्रिक हो जाएगा ना.
This becomes symmetric. Yeah. Yeah.
थैंक यू सर.
Sure. All right. So this is anti-symmetric. Okay. Again, once again, you should be able to see that there are relations which are neither symmetric nor anti-symmetric. Okay. You guys see it? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
you can have 3-element thing. You can have this, and then you can have C, let's say. Okay. So this is neither symmetric nor anti-symmetric. इस तरह की चीजों को हम कभी-कभी asymmetric भी कहते हैं. Asymmetric, okay, instead of anti-symmetric. All right. So here is an example. You have these drones, and from the previous example, they each have a sensing circle. एक radius है उसके अंदर they can sense other robots or something. If a robot I can see robot J, then robot J can also see robot I. Okay. Then their circles are same, and the distance between I and J is smaller than the radius of sensing circle for both I and J. Alright, so मेरे पास अगर दो elements हैं I and J, okay, I is some robot and J is some robot. When I say that I can see J, what I mean is that जो I का circle बन रहा है, it contains J. Okay? When I say that J can see I, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि J का जो circle बन रहा है, it contains I. Okay? तो इसका मतलब ये है कि इनके जो circles हैं, वो overlapping है. So what it means is there is a symmetry here. Okay? Which means that if I make a relation x or y to say that x can see y, तो फिर इसकी जो इससे जो relation मेरे पास बन रहा है, that relation must be symmetric. Okay? So and that's probably seen here. The black guy can see the red dot, and the red dot can see the black dot, and so on. Okay, so they can see each other in pairs. Black and blue can't see each other, so that's fine. Okay? So this is one example of a symmetric relation. जिसमें मेरे पास जो robots हैं उनकी जो ranges हैं they are same. अगर उनके radius same है तो they should be able to both see each other. Okay, because इसकी जो प्रॉपर्टी की वजह है वो सिंपली डिस्टेंस है. अगर मेरे पास इन दो डॉट्स, if the distance from A to B is x, then the distance from B to A must be x as well. Okay? If A can see B, इसका मतलब ये है कि A का जो circle है it's larger than radius x, which means that B का जो radius है वो भी at least larger than x होगा to be able to see A. Right? All right. Here is the relation. The relation says that it's a less than or equal to relation on the set of real numbers. Okay. What it means is that for two numbers A and B in the set of reals, okay, I say that A is related to B whenever A is less than or equal to B. Okay, this is what it says, that R is a less than or equal to relation on the set of real numbers. Okay, do you all understand the definition of this relation?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So for example, 1 and 2 would be related in this fashion. Okay, let's see, is this relation reflexive?
No. Oh, yes. Yes.
So less than or equal to, na? Every number is equal to itself. So this is reflexive. Okay, so A is less than or equal to, A, because A is equal to itself. All right. कोई भी दो नंबर ले लें, एक ही नंबर की दो कॉपीज ले लें, they must be equal to each other, right? Which means that this relation is reflexive. Is it symmetric? It's not, right? So because we know that, so to say that it's not symmetric, what do you need to do? You need to give me one example जिसमें A is related to B, but B is not related to A. Okay? So एक example यही वाली ले सकते हैं आपके 1 is less than or equal to 2, but 2 is not less than or equal to 1. Okay? Which means it's not symmetric. Is it
Sir?
Yeah.
सर, जिस तरह आपने कहा कि अगर हमने एग्जांपल एक देनी है, तो किन केसेस में हम एग्जॉशन से एग्जांपल नहीं दे सकते?
So देखो, अगर इसका आंसर आपने yes देना है ना, तो you should be able to prove it for every arbitrary element. Okay? If you want to say that the answer is no, you need to give example when this is not true. Make
Okay.
sense? Okay? So if the answer is yes, then you will have to give arguments and prove why this is true. And if the answer is no, you just need to give one example when it's not true.
So ये फिर anti-symmetric हुआ, 1 less than 2, 2 less than 1 वाला.
We'll see, इसको देखते हैं, antisymmetric भी होगा question. Okay? Let's first see whether this is transitive or not.
It's transitive.
It's transitive because we know that if A is less than or equal to B and B is less than or equal to something C, then we know that A must be less than or equal to C, right? So that's great. It's transitive. Is it reflexive? Is it irreflexive? Okay. Did we study irreflexive? We didn't? Okay, so irreflexive is a relation जिसमें कोई reflection नहीं है. Okay? There are no reflection, which means कि for every element उसका loop नहीं है. मेरे ख्याल में हमने study किया है. नहीं किया?
So ये नहीं anti-reflexive है ना?
मेरे ख्याल में इसको anti-reflexive कहा था हमने, है ना?
Yes.
हमने इसको anti-reflexive कहा था.
Anti-symmetric पढ़ा था.
Anti-reflexive नहीं पढ़ा.
Sir, anti-reflexive पढ़ा है? पढ़ा है sir.
ये है ना anti-reflexive हमने पढ़ा है.
जिसमें 1 1 और 2 2 नहीं होते.
Okay, so I'm थोड़ा सा मुझे यहाँ पे अब याद नहीं आ रहा. I might be wrong. Maybe irreflexive is same as anti-reflexive, and it's possible that irreflexive is thing that is not reflexive. Okay, तो यहाँ पे मुझे doubt है थोड़ा सा. Okay, let me get back to you. मैं आपको इसको classroom पे message कर दूँगा कि what irreflexive is. Okay, is it anti-symmetric? So all I need to say is that if A is less than equal to B and B is less than or equal to A, then this should imply that A is equal to B, which is true, right? If you have two numbers, one is less than or equal to the second, and the second is less than or equal to the first, they must actually be equal. They are not less than or equal to each other, right? So they are actually antisymmetric. All right, is everyone happy?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
सिर्फ 5th वाला एक बार दोबारा समझा दें.
Okay,
sir,
sure.
क्योंकि 1 less than 2 अगर 2 less than 1 तो true ही नहीं होगा.
So here's the thing. Anti-reflexive में आप ये वाली चीज assume करते हैं. This is your assumption. This is statement P, and this is your statement Q. Okay. So you assume, you pick two arbitrary elements जिसमें ये वाली बात true है, okay? और ये वाली बात भी true है. Okay? And then you show अगर ये दोनों बातें true हैं तो फिर they must be the same pair. Okay? ये जो दोनों बातें हैं, these are my premises, okay? ये मेरी premise है, मैं assume कर रहा हूँ इसको कि ये true है,
सिर्फ
इसको मैंने prove नहीं करना। क्या?
रियल टाइम एग्जांपल देके समझा सकते हैं कि मैं तो थोड़ा ये ए बी से
So
कंफ्यूज
so once मैं example देता हूँ आपको, but the thing is example will not prove it. आप example यहाँ पे लिख देंगे ना तो you will get a 0 for it, okay? Because you need to give a yes answer in this case, so you will have to give 2-3 लाइन में इसका exactly proof लिखना होगा आपको, okay?